Hello, everyone. This is your PEA President, Stephanie Yocum, and we are here with our Polk delegation, and some of them are behind the camera right now at the FEA Delegate Assembly, and we are filming a video to further explain the teacher salary level movements and the proposed raises for 23-24 that were advertised today. So there are some misconceptions that we want to clear up. We want to make sure we have some examples so that you guys can look at your pay level to see where you're moving. So this is not going to be a short video, so hang in with us. We're going to dig in. We're going to look at these charts and these explanations so that you guys know how you're moving. So the first thing that I want to say and clear up, no one is seeing just $150, okay? We're going to go into how this is going to move. $150 was added into each current level, and then you are additionally moving down the salary schedule. And I know that the last couple of years, we have not moved down the salary schedule as we have had to roll to 47.5, but we are now moving from your current level, and you will be changing pay levels. The only exception to this is if you are a brand new teacher with 0 years of teaching experience. Anywhere you're a baby brand new teacher with 0 years of experience, you are staying at 47.5 as a new brand new teacher hire. Everyone else, if you have even 1 year of experience, you will see level movement, and we're going to explain how that's going to look like now. So you can bring the camera in a little bit so we can see the chart paper a little bit easier. So we are going to talk about the teacher salaries grandfathered schedule first, okay? So if you're on any teacher grandfathered salary schedule, this chart is for you unless you're on the first level. We're going to talk about that later. So when I say teacher grandfather, that means you've been in Polk County for 15 or more years since 2008 or prior. If you have been teaching in Polk for 2008 or before, you were on some kind of grandfathered schedule, okay? And that's continuous teaching experience from 2008 or prior, okay? And the teacher grandfathered schedules are teacher grandfather, you have now the new dean grandfather, and you have student services grandfathered, okay? So right now, AAC grandfathered is the first pay level in the grandfathered schedule, okay? So these are for all of our teachers that are on not AAC, so AAD, AAE, AAF, and down the schedule. We're going to talk about the first pay level at the end of the video, okay? If you were on AAD grandfathered or lower, so AAE, AAF, AAG, etc., you are all moving 7 pay levels. 7 pay levels. That's how you're moving. All right. So, for example, we're going to call her Anita Union, okay? So Miss Anita Union is currently at AAK grandfathered. That's where her current pay level is right now. Anita Union is going to move 7 levels down the schedule. So she's going to go from AAK 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Anita Union's new pay level for the 23-24 school year would be AAR grandfathered. Now let's talk about what that means for dollar amounts, okay? Right now, Anita Union is at $49,579 on AAK grandfathered. With her 7-level move down the schedule, Anita Union would now be at AAR GF grandfathered, which is now at $51,878. That is a total gain of $2,299. Okay, and that is going to be the same for everybody on a grandfathered schedule unless you're on the very first level, which really most of our grandfathered people are not on the first level. It's just the small amount of teacher network managers that might be on that level. Everybody else, if you're on a grandfathered schedule, so if your pay levels has GF after it, you are moving 7 pay levels down the schedule. Okay. Now, I want to also point out, and I'm going to do this again at the very end of the video, to find your teacher grandfathered proposed schedules, okay? There's some page numbers that I want to give you. If you're looking at your level move chart, that's on page 94 of the PDF for the tentative agreement. The teacher grandfathered proposed schedule is on page 100 to 102. The new dean grandfathered schedule is page 103 to 105. The student services grandfathered schedule is on page 119 to 121. Now, these are not the page numbers that are physically on the bottom of the page. It's because it takes into account the table of contents and all that preamble stuff. And so that's the actual page numbers in the PDF document out of 188 pages in the teacher tentative agreement. Okay, so that's the grandfathered movement. To recap, everyone in the grandfathered schedule, if you have a GF after your pay level, unless you are at AAC GF, which we'll talk about later, you are moving 7 pay levels. And how you do that again is you find your pay level wherever it is. From the very next letter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you see what that new pay level would be making. All right, now we're going to move on to the teacher pay for performance now. All right, our teacher pay for performance chart. Okay, it's set up very similarly, except the first level right now in the teacher pay for performance is AAD, PFP is pay for performance. That means if you were hired in Polk in 2009 or after, or you came back and had a break in service somewhere, whether you moved to an administrator job, came back, or you moved to another pay group, came back, or moved to another county and came back, if you were hired in Polk in 2009 or later, you have a PFP after your pay level because you're on the pay for performance pay schedule. All right. Now, we're going to talk about the first pay level later in the video. So we're not talking about AAD right now. We are only going to be talking about the second pay level and down, which is AAE, PFP, AAF, AAG, and down the schedule. Okay? All right. Now, if you are on the teacher pay for performance schedule, and that means teacher pay for performance, the new dean pay for performance, the student services pay for performance, you are moving 6 levels down your salary schedule. All right. So we're going to use Anita Union again as our example here. So Anita Union is on AAH pay for performance. Okay, that's where she currently is right now on this pay for performance schedule. She's going to take her AAH pay level and she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So her new proposed pay level would be AAN pay for performance. Okay, now currently on AAH, Anita Union is making $48,658. Moving 6 pay levels down the schedule, Anita Union would now be making $50,650, which is an increase of $1,992 to her current pay right now. Okay, so pay for performance. If you are after the first level, which is AAD, so we're not talking about AAD right now. AAE down, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's your new pay schedule. For reference, and I'm going to say it again at the end of the video, to go into the tentative agreement, go to the PDF page number, so it's out of 188 total pages, so it's a pretty beefy contract. Okay, 188 pages. The teacher pay for performance proposed schedule is on page 109 through 110. The new dean proposed pay for performance is on page 111. The student services pay for performance is on page 128 through 130. for your reference. And that's all in Appendix C, the teacher's salary appendix. Okay. So now we're going to talk about our OTPT sign language interpreters in the teacher contract. Okay. All OTPT and sign language interpreters will move 2 pay levels down their schedule. This is because their pay level is structured differently, and 2 level movements down the schedule is comparable to the 6 and 7 level movements that the teacher grandfathered and pay for performance are seeing. So for example, our OTPT sign language interpreters start with BA, BB, BC, BD down the schedule. So we're going to use Anita Union again. Anita Union in the OTPT SLI, we're going to say her current level is level BC. She's going to move 2 pay levels down the schedule. Her new proposed salary pay level would be BE. So currently, Anita Union at BC is making $50,675. Her new salary would be $52,666, which is adding $1,991 to what she currently makes. So that's our OTPT SLI example, okay? And we'll come back to the page numbers again at the very end. Okay, now the last chart that we're going to see tonight is the breakdown of the first level in the grandfathered schedule and the teacher pay for performance schedule, okay? So because what we heard overwhelming from you all over the last few years is we've had to roll the base to 47.5 is the major concern and issue complaint that we've all had is that now 0 to 13 years of teaching experience is all collapsed into 47.5. And that is not sustainable and that should not happen. A 13-year teacher should not be making the same as a beginning, brand new, no experience teacher. We need our experienced teachers to make more money because we want them to stay in the profession because that helps all of us and that helps kids, okay? And so brand new teachers should not be making the same as a 13-year veteran teacher. So we have to address that. And the only way to address that is to take that first level and start to break it up. It's not completely broken up this year. This is going to take a couple of years to fix because we didn't get into this situation overnight. Our legislature screwed us over, and now we've got to fix their mistakes. And so this is the first year of fixing our state's mistakes. So in the first level of the grandfathered schedule. Now, like I said before, most of our grandfathered teachers are not in AAC. It's a handful of our teacher network managers that might have been placed there because of the way that they place in their schedule, okay? But we have to still break this up. And so the breakup of the first pay level, whether it's AAC grandfathered or AAD pay for performance, is the same, okay? The breakup is the same. Except now that we're at $47,500 for the minimum, the grandfather schedule can now completely mirror the pay for performance. So both schedules will now have a starting salary of $47,500. So currently on the grandfathered AAC, they're at $46,980. Okay? So for the proposed breakup of this first pay level, to break down the years of experience in the first pay level, 0 years of experience, whether you're on grandfathered or pay for performance, you're going to be at level AAD. Whether it's grandfathered or pay for performance, you're at $47,500 as a brand new, no experience teacher coming in. Now, nobody's going to be placed on the grandfathered schedule, so this is just kind of helping us break up where our teacher network managers might be at this point. Okay, so any new hires coming in with 0 years of experience, no teaching from out of state, no other counties, we are talking brand new, fresh to the profession teachers with 0 experience will be at $47,500. Okay? If you have 1 to 3 years of experience, whether that's in Polk or somewhere else that you brought in verified experience, 1 to 3 years of experience will move 1 level to AAE, which is $47,887. If you have 4 to 5 years of experience, you are going to move 2 levels to AAF, which you were at 47.5. You're now at, you would be at $48,194. If you have 6 to 7 years of experience, okay, you're going to move 1, 2, 3 levels from 47,500 to $48,501. If you have 8 to 9 years of experience, you are moving 1, 2, 3, 4 pay levels. Your new salary would be $48,808. If you have 10 to 11 years of experience, you would be moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pay levels to AAI, which from 47.5, which you're currently making, you would be making $49,115. And the last bracket to start breaking up the compression is our 12 to 13 years of experience. Currently, they're making $47,500, just like everybody else in this group. If you're in 12 to 13 years of experience, you're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pay levels to AAJ. So if you have 12 to 13 years of experience, you're currently making $47,500. You would be making, based on this salary schedule, $49,422. Okay? That is how we're breaking up that first level. And that's where we got the number to move everybody else down. Because once we break this up, at least for this year, we're going to be proposing each year until this is year for year to keep breaking this up. And that's how we got the 6 levels for everybody else, whether they're, AAE down or on the grandfathered schedule. Okay? Because we have to start somewhere. And right now, Polk has a finite pot of money, just like every other district. But our pot of money is smaller than most of our surrounding districts because our state does not fund us appropriately for the size that we are. We are currently funded in the 60s out of 67. I think it's like 61 or 62 for per pupil funding in the state of Florida, which is atrocious. Okay? And we don't have a millage to support salaries locally. But our district, and in conjunction with your union, is fighting to put a millage referendum on the 2024 November ballot. Because if Tallahassee isn't going to fund us appropriately, we've got to do it ourselves in-house. So this is what we've got right now. So again, to clarify, no one is just getting a $150 raise. You are moving levels down the schedule. Now, I want to talk about years of experience because we've gotten a lot of questions about that. Really, the way we've set this up, the only time you have to look at years of experience, because we know it's a dumpster fire, and the district knows, and it's really no fault of anybody that's currently working there. This has been a problem for a while that hasn't been fixed, and they are working to migrate to a new personnel system. But they know it's wrong, at least in that column. You need to look at your seniority or hire date. That is what they're pulling to break up this first level, okay? If you are not in AAD PFP or AAC grandfathered, you don't need to worry if your years are right now, because you're taking your current pay level and just moving down 6 or 7 levels, okay? What these folks in this level, in that first level group need to check in their staff portal is if their hire and seniority date is correct, okay? If your hire or seniority date is incorrect, you need to put in an incident IIQ ticket under, I think, payroll or personnel, under general questions, so that they can look at your seniority hire date. We all know that the years of experience are incorrect in staff portal. Please do not look at that. Calculate based on your seniority date, hire date to see where you would fall in one of these brackets. But again, years of experience do not matter if you are not in this first pay level, because we are literally taking your pay level that you currently are in and moving you down the schedule. So for example, I'm in pay level AAE, pay for performance. I'm not in this first group, okay? I just need to take my pay level AAE and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and go down to see my new pay level, okay? All right, so I hope that this helps clarify some of the misconceptions that we've heard today, helps clarify some of the questions about experience years, and that we can see that while this is not enough, it's not, okay? For what we do to work with our kids, no amount of money is really enough, okay? But we have a finite pot of money, and this is what we use to address the compression from what we heard from all of you guys over the last couple of years, because we've got to start somewhere. Okay, we've got to start somewhere. And this is a good starting place for us to continue to fight to break up the compression and make sure that our veteran teaching staff starts to see the money that the base is seen over the last few years. And this is also for our beginning new teachers, because who wants to languish at the first pay level for years and years and years? You as a professional want to see that as a salary schedule, you are going to move down the salary schedule. And so while, as we're breaking this up, you may not see the level movement that our veteran teachers are, we hope that you will be a veteran teacher one day and see that level movement, okay? So we need to look at the bigger picture. We need to look at what's in front of us, and that nobody's just getting $150, okay? And then I hope that this clarifies some of those misconceptions, some of those questions that people were having. And again, if you need help reading this, please talk to your building reps. Please call the office, contact us. Now, please also be patient with our PEA staff, because there are 6 of us in the office, okay? And there's 9,000 of you all between our teachers and our secretaries and our paras, okay? There's a lot of calls and a lot of emails coming in. We are people just like you guys. And so we are working through the weekend and after hours to make sure that your questions are getting answered. But if you don't get a reply, even right now within the first 24 hours, please be patient. You will get a response, I promise, okay? But also use your building reps. If you have somebody at your work site that's on the bargaining team, talk to them, okay? We can get you answers. Just be patient with us as we're answering all of your questions, because we want you to be informed, and we want you to be informed correctly and not through misconceptions that you might have heard through the grapevine. We want you to have accurate information as you are looking at these schedules, okay? So thank you for hanging in. I know that this was a long video. I'm going to put back up the page numbers again, just so you can see the page numbers of where to see your proposed salary agreements. And they are right here at the bottom. I'm not going to say them again, because you can pause the video and see where you need to go in the tentative agreement. Okay? So your union is fighting for you. Your union is here to make sure that we have a voice at the table, okay? And we will get this done together. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a great night.